Welcome to Hanging Out with Robert, that's me. This video contains things that I encounter throughout the day. If for some reason I complete a task and you would like to see the details, you can click on the link in the description area below. This video also contains tips and tricks that I learned throughout the years. I plan on leaving this video accessible for about 30 days. After that, you can view it through my Patreon account. Thank you very much for watching. Here it is, 1996 Volvo 850. Platinum edition, and of course this is the wagon version. This car was loaded with every feature that Volvo had electronically. I believe it has all of the same features as the R vehicles when it comes to the mechanics. It had a power amp for the stereo. I believe they had an Evomat suspension. Now the R version had a different lip on the front and a wing on the back, different interior with Alcantara and stuff like that, and a different computer chip. But basically this car had all those other features like dual power seats, heated mirrors, and stuff like that. Now the R version came with a 17-inch wheel. This one has a very attractive 16 5-spoke wheel, which I like. I'm not sure why, but this one actually has a pinstripe. I think that may have been added. I've never seen this pinstripe on any of the other cars before. Door cards are in really good shape. The dash pad's in good shape. I seen this scar on one of my cars, one of my R's. I think Panther has that. That is where somebody mounted a cell phone mount back in the day, probably in the 90s. Now this car has had the lower seat cushion replaced and that seat totally rebuilt, and I have this seat skin for this one here, this backrest. Need to get this heavy stuff off of that seat, leaving an impression. But very good condition seats because they've been redone. Like that wood inlay in the dash, kind of a darker wood, not as dark as the R's, but very beautiful, attractive wood. Now this one needs a headliner, so the material is loose from the headliner, and somebody has messed with the sunroof and has the sunroof shade loose. That's going to be fixed. The front shocks on this thing are just blown away. Now somebody dented that somehow. I do have a platinum fender for it. This color is kind of hard to match. Now whenever you could bounce a car up and down like this, the shocks up front are blown away, and it shook 2 or 3 times after I stopped. So we have new suspension for it. Body's in pretty good shape other than that fender and a little dent here above this wheel, which I believe can be pulled out with a dentless repair service. All of the pieces are here for this rear hatch, but for some reason somebody's got tape on there and this thing is not latched properly. We got to fix that. There's a couple of spots in the back of the car where people have put things that are dirty. That should clean up. It has evidence that there's child seats so that people can sit in the back, little kids, and it's a relatively clean car. I'd give it probably a 3 on the scale of 1 to 5, and we'll make this thing a 5 before the end of the day. The tail lights are starting to fade. The upper ones look like that lower one's been replaced because it's a lot shinier than this upper one here. Both of these over here could probably be replaced. Now most people use the lights from the V70s because they're newer and they're made a little different. They don't deteriorate like these here. So this is what we got. We're going to fix the odometer gear and just do everything to refresh this thing so that it's basically like a new car. It's showing 165 on the odometer, and when I read it, it's almost at 196. So we're going to correct that. Now, I didn't think it was counting mileage, but it turns out that it was counting mileage, but my tool is only counting every 10 miles and not every 1 mile. So we got to get that straight. Let me see what kind of floor mats it has. I think it has the rubber floor mats in here. Yeah, the rubber floor mats are here, and the regular floor mats are missing, so we'll need to get a set of floor mats for it. Set of the tan ones. Sunroof and all that good stuff. Time for me to get cracking on this wagon. The first thing I'm going to do is take this dash pad off and fix the odometer, replace the lights in the cluster, and correct the mileage on here, and go from there. Of course, there's links to this specific task in the description area below. Here we go, folks. Newark pick apart. The Volvos are all the way down on the last 40. About a half-mile walk. So we are getting with it. It's supposed to be a 960 in here. Get a sunroof trim. And maybe a couple of oil cooler block-off plates. And whatever else they have out there. I actually don't have the right tool to get those oil cooler block-off plates because I need an extension. And I didn't bring it. So I may not be able to get those. But I can definitely get these. Couple other things. Maybe I can get them. I'll see. I don't think so. Maybe I should go back and get this dang tool because I'm not all the way in here yet. Yeah, I think I'm going to do that. I'm going to go get the tool I need, the extension. The fresh 960. This looks like the last car that was set out. So it should have the sunroof trim, which it does, looking beautiful, and an oil cooler block-off plate, which I may or may not be able to get. Let me try to get this first, then get that sunroof trim. Man, this car has a very nice tan dash pad down here in Newark. Somebody needs to get down here and get this. If you feel that this information was useful, please like it and share it with your social media friends. You can subscribe to my channel so that you will get notifications of future videos that I post. You can follow me on Twitter, and if you need to contact me directly, please visit my website. And if you have any questions, leave them below, and someone or myself will reply to them. Again, thank you very much for watching.